Welcome, everyone. Let's jump into some intense political discourse. This piece on Trump's deranged drive for WW3 with Iran really packs a punch.
Absolutely, the title itself grabs your attention. It kind of forces you to ask, what on earth is behind this aggressive rhetoric?
Exactly. It's like you have a presentation where Trump's rhetoric reaches, a level of extremism that suggests an unpredictable push towards global conflict with Iran. It's a stark reminder that political speech can escalate tensions.
Right, and when you think about it, the very idea of a drive for WW3, it's almost surreal. It pushes us to question the motivations behind such statements.
Yeah, and it's not just the language, it's the whole presentation. David Payne in this presentation seems to be critiquing not only the idea, but also the dangerous precedents set by such aggressive stances.
Yep, what strikes me is that the video doesn't even have a detailed description. It's all emphasis on the title and the visuals and metadata. It really forces the viewer to listen carefully to what's being argued.
Exactly. The metadata, including the streaming details and comments, almost amplifies the urgency. It's like, the video's entire ecosystem, the chat replay, the interactivity, creates this charged atmosphere around discussing global conflict.
Yeah, and you see the engagement too. There are thousands of viewers, live stream details, all contributing to this narrative. It makes me wonder how much of this is performative political theater versus actual policy outlook.
That's a good point. The framing here is aggressive. I mean, saying deranged drive for WW3 is deliberately provocative to dramatize the stakes. It recognizes Trump's policy rhetoric, but also aims at mobilizing a reaction.
But don't you think sometimes the sensationalism might distract from legitimate policy questions? I mean, not every provocative statement leads to war.
I can see that, but consider the timing and context. His aggressive posturing, especially with Iran in the mix, is not just for show. It taps into historical tensions and uncertain global strategies.
Right? True. And the commentary around this video seems to be buzzing with speculation about whether such rhetoric could actually influence international decision making.
Yep, and it's like when you compare it to past administrations, this isn't the typical political maneuvering. It rides on the edge of, a brinkmanship strategy that risks escalating conflict.
Exactly, it's a high stakes game. And the way it's dissected in the video, along with other global news segments and live chats, really presents it as more than just hot air.
Right, and the fact that this is coming from a media channel known as Dialogue Works, with a significant following, gives it an extra layer of influence. Their live stream format, live chats, and transcript details make it feel very immediate and raw.
Absolutely. And it's interesting how the live stream effect adds a dimension of real-time criticism. You can almost hear the collective pulse of viewers debating every word.
Yeah, it's like a town hall meeting in digital form. And it forces you to balance between understanding the theatrical flair of the rhetoric and evaluating the actual policy implications behind it. That's a fair critique. Indeed, the bombastic language risks overshadowing the nuances involved. However, it also exposes the inherent dangers that come with such provocative posturing.
Yep, definitely. Underneath the theatrics, there lies a real concern. How rhetoric, when left unchecked, can lead to misinterpretations and unintended escalations.
Absolutely. And if you think of it as a warning bell, the whole setup, the lack of detailed description, the streaming metadata, serves to focus attention squarely on those powerful words.
Yeah, it almost feels like you're in a live debate with global audiences, where every comment and every opinion adds to the overall intensity.
Right, and then there's the matter of context. Trump's past policies and his unpredictable statements, which amplify the potential for miscalculation when managing international relations with Iran.
It's like the stakes are raised with every provocative statement, and sometimes political leaders use such crises to consolidate power or signal to their base.
Right, and it's like with any form of political theater, there's a risk of blurring the lines between genuine policy and hyperbole. Yet in this case, the consequences of misunderstandings seem especially
Indeed,
dangerous.
Definitely a double-edged sword. On one hand, it can mobilize the public and pressure political rivals, but on the other, it teeters dangerously close to actual conflict.
Precisely, and consider the way historical tensions with Iran are reanimated in these discussions. It's a reminder of past crises, making the rhetoric feel like a relapse into previous eras of brinkmanship.
Right? Yes. And we also see a broader media ecosystem at play here. Other videos showing debates, live interviews, and expert panels that tackle similar hot topics, which further underline the heightened global sensitivity.
And it's interesting how interconnected these discussions become. For instance, one video mentions Trump considers involvement in the Middle East, which directly ties into his alleged drive toward a WW3 scenario.
Yep, that chain reaction of commentary really demonstrates the public's unease, right? The content doesn't exist in isolation. It's part of a larger narrative where every piece adds weight to the concerns about military escalation.
Exactly, and the chat replays and live stream comments bolster that sense. Every viewer, every comment adds layers of confirmation bias where people reinforce each other's fears and expectations.
There's a kind of echo chamber effect here that makes the commentary even more potent. I mean, it's as if every reaction amplifies this image of impending conflict.
Right, and in many ways it's like a dramatic trailer for a war movie, but in real life. The stakes, the visuals, and the rhetorical sparks all combine to create something that's simultaneously alarming and eerily captivating.
Yep, and that's where the challenge lies. When sensationalism meets policy, it's hard to tell where the performance ends and reality begins.
Absolutely, which is why careful listening and diverse perspectives are crucial here. It's not enough to just react to the headlines. You have to dig into the context, the history, and the broader implications.
Yeah, exactly. And considering how this debate is taking shape across so many platforms, YouTube, live streams, podcast segments, it really speaks to the power of modern media in shaping political discourse.
Yeah. And it's like every element, from the metadata quirks to the stark title, serves as a reminder that political narratives are crafted with intent, often to provoke and energize rather than to soothe.
Yep, truly, and it invites us to remain vigilant. While it may be entertaining for some, the underlying stakes are nothing to take lightly.
Exactly. It's a wake-up call, an invitation to critically assess not only the rhetoric, but also the consequences such language can have on international relations, especially when leaders hint at world-scale conflicts.
Right? Well said. It's a fascinating yet sobering look at how modern political discourse can veer dangerously close to inciting real conflict.
Yep, and as we wrap up, it's clear that while the performance of rhetoric is meant to rally, it can also spiral into real-world risks if not carefully managed. Thanks for this spirited discussion.
Absolutely. Thanks for diving into these challenging topics. It's discussions like these that remind us to always question the narratives and keep a keen eye on the underlying realities.